The heavens have opened up in Brisbane over the past few days, but remarkably, it's game on here this evening after every other game in the southeast tonight has fallen victim to the rain. Two undefeated teams in the NPL Queensland go head-to-head in an early season six-pointer. From Walter Park, it's the round four clash. First versus second, Moreton Bay and Olympic. It's Rafe Griffin with you in commentary this evening as we take a look at the two team lineups for this encounter. For the home side, Moreton Bay, in gold is Bayzad Ariayi Ravesh, 2 Nick Bernardi, 3 Jake Mitchell, 6 Sam Dickinson, 8 Matt Capello, 9 Riley Campbell, 10 Seku Jamonde, 11 Brenton Fox, 14 Alex Janowski, 19 Lachlan Stroggitz, and 23 Reese Gwyn Jones. The subs tonight, Chomarop, Omar Siddiqui, Ben Harris, Corey Salvati, and the reserve keeper is Sam Long. For the visitors, Olympic, in goal is Nick Mooney, 2 Jack Glover, 4 Kristen Waters, 5 Steve White, 7 Shelford Deus, 8 Kazuya Ito, 9 Daniel Byrne, 11 Jez Lofthouse, 12 Costa Saros, 13 Kieran Sandens, and 19 John Philippe Lazem. The reserves for Olympic this evening, Matt Mundy, Taj Safik, Adam Edgar, Zelfi Nazari, and the reserve keeper, Dakota Sprange. Referee for this encounter is James Sherry, assisted by Justin Temple and Carmelo Pulverenti. As I said before, heap of rain in Brisbane over the past 48 hours. I was told by the management here of the Moreton Bay Jets that about 125 millimetres yesterday and into the early hours of this morning. Since then, probably another 20 millimetres. There's no squelching of the park. I went for a little bit of a wander across the field before. No squelching underfoot. That's good. The grass is probably just a little bit higher than what you'd normally expect. Haven't been able to obviously get on the park and cut the grass. And the weather, well, it's 25.5 degrees, but with the humidity, with that rain stopping, a 90% humidity, very little wind, feels a couple of degrees warmer than that, at around about 29.5 degrees. So while it's relatively cool with the apparent temperature, that humidity really pushing things up, and it might just take a bit of a toll with player comfort this evening. So James Sherry blows the whistle. We're underway in this round four clash in the NPL Queensland from Walter Park. Second place, Moreton Bay, up against first place, Olympic. Deus dispossessed there by the Moreton Bay skipper in Janowski, trying to play it tight down the right touchline. Olympic, Saros looking to link up with Sanders. And back all the way to the keeper in Bayzad, his first touch of the evening. Gwyn Jones back to his keeper again. Let's see how truly this ball rolls around. Bernardi and forced across the sideline. Throw-in's taken quickly. Deus the target. Took a heavy touch. Dickinson. Bayzad. Gwyn Jones. Sanders will put the pressure on the keeper. Bayzad puts the touch around Sanders. It's Capello, dispossessed. Byrne. Sanders. Turns around. Saros trying to link up with Lofthouse. Cleared away by Gwyn Jones. Straight to the Olympic player, though, in Ito. Saros tries to bustle off the Moreton Bay player. And the shot wide of the target. Well, a couple of critical outs for both sides this evening, both in the defence. Moreton Bay without the services of defender Matt Byrne this evening after he was sent off late in the Moreton Bay 2-2 draw with the Brisbane Strikers last week at Perry Park. And Shane Stefanuto, normally the left back for Olympic, out of the side this evening. He's the media manager at Brisbane Roar, who are currently in action in the A-League. Squeeze Deus against Bernardi. Put along by Bazard to Stroggitz. Stroggitz and Janowski combine. Played for his skipper. Contested ball, and the decision will go the visitors' way. As I mentioned in the team lineups, Matt Mundy starts from the bench this evening, normal starter for Olympic. But just overheard that perhaps he had a bit of a slight injury concern, a slight twinge coming into tonight's game. So the Olympic coaching staff obviously deciding that discretion was the way to go, a bit of caution. No doubt we'll see Matt Mundy later on. Sanders, bit of a change in formation for Olympic this evening. Sanders looks to be playing as an out-and-out number 9 tonight. Ito. Down the left touch line for his skipper, Byrne. Stroggitz. Now Jamonde, back heel for Janowski. Two former Lions players hooking up. Gwyn Jones. Capello for Bernardi. Makes the way to Moreton Bay from Mitchelton, where he was for a number of years. Forward by Janowski, searching for Stroggitz. Loses out to Waters. And Olympic will have the throw-in decision as well. So as I mentioned, it's first versus second. Olympic are first. 9 points, 3 wins. In the opening round, they defeated Magpies Crusaders by 6 goals to 2. And Moreton Bay had a round 1 win of 6 goals to 2 themselves against Redlands. Olympic then going on with it in round 2. 3-2 winners against Western Pride, and last week an early goal to Jez Lofthouse sealed the win 1-0 against Lions. After their opening round, Moreton Bay 3-1 winners against Brisbane City here at Walter Park 2 weeks ago. And that frenetic match against the Strikers last week, whereas 1-0 to Moreton Bay on 90 minutes, but somehow the game ended in a 2-2 draw. Moreton Bay coach Pirianabi saying that was a fair result, all things considered. Jamonde, as I mentioned earlier, previously been at Lions but made the move to Moreton Bay for the 2018 season. Janowski, clump of Olympic players there trying to put the pressure on, and the offside flag will go up against Brenton Fox, it looked like. No, it wasn't. It was Riley Campbell. So 9 points for Olympic, a perfect 3 from 3 seasons so far. 7 for Moreton Bay to sit in second spot. And of course, this is the only game that's survived in the southeast this weekend, or tonight at least, and last night. Here's Fox. Mooney out of his box to head away. Dickinson for the Jets. The only other game in the NPL or FQPL going on this evening. And it's up in Cairns. Cairns taking on Redlands. That one kicking off at 6:30. And once that one gets underway, we'll give you regular score updates from Barlow Park. Glover. Now Jamonde. Goal kick for Nick Mooney coming up. And he'll go out on the left. Ito, Japanese player. Been a regular and consistent performer in the NPL Queensland over a number of years. Now Jamonde, will it get to him? Cut out by Glover. Now Deus. Good win by Capello, Janowski and Bernardi. Bazad, the keeper, Just holding up a little bit in the wet conditions there, the ball. There's a couple of raindrops start to fall. Bezard hoofs that one long over the head of Fox. Capello for Gimonde. Bernardi calling it for it at the feet. Was Janowski. Instead it comes another way. Gwyn Jones. Mitchell. Bernardi. Olympic playing a pressing game, trying to cause the Jets some issues and trying to clear out of the defence. Byrne continues on his run. Bezard under pressure. Comes away for Olympic. Shelford Deus up against Janowski. Glover up from defence. Couldn't link up with Sanders. Stroggets now. And onside was Fox, but the ball overhit. No trouble for Mooney. White. Olympics opening run to the season, somewhat reminiscent of their 2013 Premier Charge, where they were undefeated through the first part of the season. 3 straight wins to open up that campaign before the draw in Cairns, but then undefeated for the the 11 games through the first part of 2013. That saw them take the Premiership and Grand Final win in 2013. Moreton Bay achieved the double in 2015. Waters. Oh, turnover there for Janowski. Fortuitously, Olympic have won the ball back. Sanders, Lofthouse, and the flag goes up. Referee will allow the advantage to continue though. Dave Harris, might have just heard those instructions in the background. Dave Harris, the Moreton Bay assistant coach, just giving out a couple of instructions to Sekou Gimonde. White. Squeeze there, Ito. Switch of play for Glover. Bernardi, plenty of time just to allow a look and let it go over the touchline. Plenty of instructions being barked out by both sets of coaches. Plenty of talk out there on the park as well. Bernardi. Deus comes to the ball. Byrne wins it. And deemed to have been infringed against. Free kick going Olympics' way. Latham will take it quickly. Deus squeezes between the two Moreton Bay players. Here's Lofthouse delivering the cross towards Sanders, who was waiting near the penalty spot. Saros couldn't get it for Olympic. Last touch. Off he, says the referee, in consultation with his assistant on the far side. Coming through the middle of the park were the Jets. Janowski for Gimonde. Good defensive work, harassing Gimonde was Glover. He's able to get a shot away wide of the target though from the man they call Free. Sekou Gimonde. Free's nickname. So the ball hasn't left the box. The goal kick will be retaken. Comes for Waters. Deus just takes a couple of steps back to provide some room. Latham high. Saros will go up against Bernardi. Sanders. Waters. And White. Olympic inside their defensive territory. Ito. Tries to conjure up something. Handed away by the defender for Campbell. Stronghead's had to get on his bike. Strongheads will put the pressure on the keeper, Mooney. Knocked away. Falls for Bernardi. Jamonde. Janowski. And Bernardi again. Mitchell. Forced backwards to his keeper. Number of connections out there this evening. Bazad, along with his Albany Creek coach of last year, Purianabi, both have made the jump up to the NPL level, and the Moreton Bay Jets this year from the sister club, Albany Creek. Meanwhile, here's Danny Byrne. For Sanders, gets a quick touch on, and John Philippe Nazem has the opening goal for Olympic. Crisp ball movement by the visitors, started by Danny Byrne. And the goal has come Olympic's way. They have a 1-0 lead. John Philippe Nazem, quick touch on as well by his teammate. And he made no mistake. Steering the ball into the back of the net. And it's Olympic 1, leading the Jets 0. So they'll have to come from behind the Jets in this encounter now. Just mentioning a number of links in this game. Brenton Fox, the striker for the Moreton Bay Jets this evening. Previously plied his trade at the Caboolture Club when they were part of the Sunshine Coast Premier League. Bumped into the president of the Caboolture Club earlier on this evening. A couple of loyalists have come down to see Brenton Fox going around with no football in Brisbane this evening. Brenton Fox at the Central Coast Mariners, and the coach in the Central Coast Mariners youth system was Ben Kahn, the Olympic coach for this season. Also a couple of former Mariner youth players out there for Olympic this evening, including Shelford Deus and Adam Edka, who starts from the bench for the visitors. Cheek turnover, Ito. Leak that up every day. Byrne looks up. It's the ball to Lofthouse. Lofthouse to the byline, tried to get a cross in. It was blocked, and a corner for Olympic. Speaking of Ben Kahn, who used to coach up on the Sunshine Coast, and Jez Lofthouse has made the move down to Olympic this year after a breakout year for the Sunshine Coast Fire last year. It was lucky charm for Olympic at the moment. Jez Lofthouse scoring in each of the 3 victories that the Red and White have had in 2018. And Bazad with the collect. And looks to get away quickly. Was he offside there, Fox? Yes, the assistance flag does go up after Fox got involved in the play. Purianabi, the Moreton Bay coach, coming into this match, said the aim for his side this year is not to concede a point at Walter Park, to win all their home games and make Walter Park a bit of a fortress. Tipping both of these sides to be in the firing of the top 6 teams come the end of the season. Nazem, the goal scorer, through for Sanders. Shelford Deus attempts the turn on goal. 3 Jets defenders come to him immediately. Glover. Blocked there by Janowski. There were claims of handball, but Janowski only ever trying to shield the ball from going into his face. Just looking for some movement. Comes in the form of Saros. Glover. And Saros caught offside.
Come on, obviously! Just the fucking come on! Go on, simple!
Crowd of probably around about 200 to 300 here at Walter Park. Might have been expecting a couple more, considering this was the only game in Brisbane tonight. Now, Pirianabi is having some discussions here about whether the game should restart. I think he's having a complaint about that group of supporters behind the fence. I'm not sure what the complaints are about, though. Keep an eye on that. I think one of them was holding the ball, and the Moreton Bay coaching bench asking those supporters behind the goal to our right to move to the clubhouse. It'll be interesting to keep a bit of an eye on, a bit of by-play. Meanwhile, on the park, Bernardi. This is Waters. What a massive improvement from Kristen Waters in recent years. A few years ago, I was playing reserve grade at Wolves in Flight Centre Brisbane Premier League, but been a major improver, as I said, over recent years. Real tower of strength for Olympic in their defence. Here he is again, Waters. Sanders is offside. So Olympic being caught a couple of times. Foul of the assistant referee on this side. Capello. Bazad. Bernardi. Jamonde. Stroggets up against Lazen. One of those players have lost their shin pad. The Stroggets is carrying around his shin pad at the moment. Sanders. Might be a fraction too far for Deus to reel in. Janowski, Jamonde. Middle of the park. It's Dickinson and referee saying no advantage. Will come back for the free kick right on the centre spot. Once again, the ball an issue. Capello will leave it. Now he's played into it from Dickinson. Janowski, and Bernardi, and Capello. Oh, cheap turnover from Matt Capello. You don't expect that too often. Jets still did retain the ball, but Byrne was providing a real sense of danger. Here's Bernardi. Capello, hassled by Lofthouse. Is there another free kick? Referee playing advantage. And Moreton Bay, the flag goes up, but so the referee will come back for the earlier foul and dish out a yellow card to the Olympic player. Try and pick it up when he turns around. I think it's Saros. So first caution of the night. If you are watching, as always, let us know where you're tuning in from, who you think will win, who you're supporting. On Facebook comments, if you're watching us via that, you might be watching us on YouTube. So free kick, booted in. Mooney could only get a punch away. Looks like a good number. Watching in on the Facebook page tonight. Obviously, a lot of you with no football on this evening have chosen to stay at home and take in this encounter. Goal kick. Viewer from UK, Stuart Carroll, watching us early morning back in the UK. Thanks for joining us, Stuart. Danny Wilson watching in from Melbourne. And Ryan Love also watching in from Melbourne, seeing a couple of his ex-teammates go around. This is Campbell. Deus. Good 1-2 with Sanders. Mazad deep out of his area. Had to be accurate with the clearance because Lofthouse was steaming in. Janowski between the feet of Stroggets. One there by Dickinson just in front of Byrne. Fox comes in search of the ball. The two former Sunshine Coast boys go at it. Tug of the shirt by Fox on Lofthouse. And Brenton Fox becomes the first Moreton Bay Jets player into the notebook for that cynical foul in order to stop Lofthouse getting forward progression. So 1 card apiece in this first half so far. Glover. Sanders. Sanders takes the shot. He got the instruction from one of his teammates, take the shot. Looked up and did exactly that after the turn. Kieran Sanders, 7 goals for Far North Queensland Heat in 2016 before a move to Edgeworth Eagles in the Northern New South Wales NPL last year, and now makes a return back to Queensland in 2018, turning out for Olympic.
No switch. Jezzy, stay spare in here, second ball. Let Danny have him, stay spare in here. Too easy! Come on!
Bernardi. Waters. Attempted quick touch on by Lofthouse. Will he be able to shield it across the line, Glover? He did in the end. Campbell was lurking. Down the line. Janowski and Deus go at it. You can see players beating in sweat those jerseys. Well and truly saturated with this high humidity. Byrne at the edge of the box. Loses out to Gwyn Jones. Jamonde. Coming searching for the ball. Capello. Overhit perhaps for the hold up. Rain will hold that ball up just a little and allow Campbell to come in. Up against Saros. Deus. Tries to outrun Janowski. Saros. Formerly in the Raw Youth system, Costa Saros. Came back to Olympic in recent years after a stint at Eastern Suburbs in Brisbane. Latham, the goal scorer. He's been caught. Referee didn't see it. Meanwhile, Fox from outside the box, and it was never dipping. Lifted it too high. And first real threat on the Olympic goal. That wasn't too much of a threat. Mooney didn't have anything to do. Latham is regaining his feet in the back play.
Ref, is that one not late as well, like the one you gave a yellow for?
Ben Khan giving his opinion. Mooney. Cut out by Janowski. Campbell. Sliding in was Fox. He has to make sure he's already sitting on the yellow card. Byrne. Deus. Pass. Sanders. Can Lofthouse reel it in? No, ball has already crossed the line in the opinion of the assistant. Well, Matt Mundy's assessment of this game going into 90 starts from the bench. That the 3 wins from 3 games so far for Olympic come from the positivity that's around the club at the moment. That's contributed to the game results. Everyone's clicked, everyone goes out on a limb for each other. And the coach, the incoming coach, Ben Khan, has been the force behind that. Positive signs for Olympic. They've lost just twice in their 6 visits to Walter Park. That's a positive omen for the visitors, who already have the lone goal in this encounter so far. Lofthouse beats the defender. Lofthouse sizes up Bayzad. A heavy touch on the way through to the keeper. That just allowed Bayzad the chance to recover. Olympic back in possession once more though. White. Nabi dishing out the instructions. Come to the ball was what he was telling his players. Urging his players on. Latham. Quite enthusiastic on the touchline, Pirianabi. Lofthouse. Goes himself. Tried to thread one through for Byrne. Bit of confusion there in the Moreton Bay defence potentially. This looks to be Deus. Jinking run. And the free kick just outside the box for the visitors in a very dangerous position. Deus was upended on his way to goal. So free kick to Olympic. Around the half-hour mark. Referee just asking for the ball to be positioned in the right place. Denny Byrne, the veteran, using all the tricks to try and grab a yard or two. Ball being set. Free kick about to be banged in. Looks to be Sanders. That will take it. So in comes the free kick. He goes direct and forces the best out of Bayzad, diving to his right to turn the ball around the post. Exchange of hands between Ito and the free kick taker. Byrne with the corner. In towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Recovery coming from the Jets, but Olympic get to the ball first. Glover it was, up against Quinn Jones.
Excellent. Superb, Jack. That's a foul,
Deus, Glover, Deus once more. Campbell comes to him. Corner this time from the opposite side for the visitors.
If it doesn't come, then straight in here.
Just being asked to cover the short run. Moreton Bay defenders.
Yes, Danny, make the run, Danny.
Corner in and high and wide. It's taken a touch off a Moreton Bay player on the way through from Waters' attempt. Couple more viewers in from the UK. White. Ito. Turn ball comes from Deus. Sanders tries one off the side of his foot. And a goal kick for the Jets to relieve some pressure. Got a viewer from Norway. Good morning, good evening to you.
Doesn't trust his players, well done. Costa close to here. Yes, Danny, on your toes, Danny, alive. Yes, Kieran.
That's during a nice little sleep in the Northern Hemisphere. No doubt far cooler than what we're expecting or experiencing here in Brisbane at the moment. As I said, around about 25 degrees the ambient temperature, but this humidity, it's absolutely muggy. That moisture just seeping out of the ground, making things quite warmer than what they are. Players sweating and commentators alike. So it looks to be a throw-in right in the corner here for Olympic.
Come on, let's punish you. Come on.
Just searching for options. Moreton Bay cutting those out initially. Byrne. Danny Byrne into his 6th year in the NPL at Olympic. Of course, precedes the NPL time at Olympic. Touch past Lazem. Glover. Waters for White. Very composed. Olympic and trying to work their way out of defence. Deus on his bike. Looks up, sees what's available to him. Too tall for Byrne. Lofthouse to rescue the situation. Ito again. Olympic looking comfortable. Just composing themselves, taking the time. Cross cut out by Bernardi in front of Deus. Lazem loses out. Fox the target. We're a height battle. Fox will well and truly lose that one to Waters. Thinks the turn in. Campbell gets past one. Couldn't get past the second and Saros. Now Byrne. Great delivery from Lazem. Byrne sizes up Gwyn Jones and can't steer it towards the target, and you can hear the loud gasp of exasperation. Wide of the target, didn't get enough on it. In the end, did Byrne. Perhaps was expecting some support. Jamonde, end to end. Here's Stroggets. Clip on for Fox was intended. Waters on hand. And the free kick will go Olympics' way. Jamonde just gives a little tap to Kazuya Ito. Here's Mooney. Came to Olympic a few years ago after being the understudy for quite a while at Far North Queensland Heat before eventually getting his run in the senior team up there. Came to Brisbane for university studies, Nick Mooney. Quite a clever young man.
Blocking the pass in there.
Studying something that's certainly beyond my capabilities. Something in the medicine field. Might even be nuclear medicine. Uncharacteristically, Olympic have given the ball away. And Lofthouse has conceded the free kick to the lanky Jamonde. Bernardi. Squeezed for room by Deus. Mitchell. And looks like Moreton Bay are readying a substitution and an attacking one. Chomarop. As there's a player down the background, and that's Jamonde. So the physio will come on to attend to that, but Chomarop now waiting on halfway. Dave Harris just giving some instructions to Riley Campbell. Who will Arop replace? Will it be the injured Jamonde on the far side? The answer will be shown very soon. Meanwhile, that game in Cairns should have already kicked off. Let's see if we can get a score from it while we wait this break of play. The players taking advantage of taking a drink in these warm conditions. And already a goal up in Cairns. The second minute, Taylor has scored for the home side. A quarter of an hour gone, Cairns FC lead Redlands by 1-0. So Jamonde still receiving attention on the far side. Both coaches also taking the opportunity to deliver some instructions to their team in the shadows of half-time. Jamonde looks to have left the field on the far side, and Chomarop will come on as his replacement, like for like in attacking terms. Chomarop played at Moreton Bay in the early years in their formation. Comes back again this year after a stint at Albany Creek last year. Scored a hat-trick in the opening round win against Redlands. And you can probably see in the background Jamonde limping to the dressing room. His night is done. So the restart will come courtesy of an Olympic throw. And Sanders will play it back for the keeper for the Jets to rebuild once more. And Deus, as we've seen quite consistently, pressuring Bernardi. Capello looks to have moved a little further forward for the Jets. Maybe that change has resulted in a bit of a change of formation for Purianavi. Check in on that in a moment. Janowski. And Bernardi. This is Mitchell. Wynne Jones under pressure. Forces the error. Chested down by Glover. Mooney. Squeezed through for Waters. Deus. Couldn't get the ball to him. Janowski gets in first. Campbell. So, this perhaps an opportunity for the Jets in their attacking third to try and conjure up something. They're finding it hard to break down that Olympic defence so far. Wynne Jones. Capello. Wider for Arop. Sizes up Ito. Two Olympic defenders come to Arop. Forces the Jets to retreat. This is Bernardi. Campbell. Olympic just reducing the space that the Jets have to operate in, playing a high line. Janowski. Bernardi. You can see the Jets just struggling to adequately find a way forward here. Jets coaching staff called for patience, and that's exactly what they'll need. Campbell. Capello. Gwyn Jones. Turnover. Sanders gets a foot to it. Saros beats Capello. Saros, and overhit for Sanders. Just couldn't quite get the communication right. Saros to Sanders that time. So it can't be too long until the half-time whistle blows. Just the major injury to Jamonde will account for any stoppage time, you'd feel. Straight between the two Jets players. Couldn't link up with either of them, Bezard. Lazem. Sanders. Lazem, the goal scorer again. Waters. Lazem. Going to Olympic from the Gold Coast Premier League. Ball into the box and nodded away by Mitchell. So a chance potentially here for the visitors to double their advantage prior to the end of the first half. Burn to take it. And towards the spot, Bezad had a double go at it. And looks to launch the counter. Arop. Too far for Fox. Mooney. Oh, Arop was almost there. Oh, and Arop again gets involved. Flag's up, but I'm not sure how it could go up there because Arop, while he may have been in an offside position, the defensive unit were playing the ball out, so he really couldn't have been offside there, Arop. Mooney is down in the background. There's all sorts of issues going on. The Olympic physio will come on. Arop being sneaky. Almost paid off for the home side to try and grab an equaliser. So Mooney prone on his back. Receiving the treatment. Now Lee sitting up. Taking the opportunity to grab a sip of water. Dakota Sprange, the Olympic reserve keeper, was beginning to do a bit of a warm-up on the bench, but has ceased that. As Mooney taking every opportunity here to regain his composure. So not too far to half-time now. Just taking a little bit of extra time. Nick Mooney. Kristen Mortars looking on, so to the referee, James Sherry. Let's see if there's been any further score up in Cairns. There hasn't been. It's midway through the first half, 24 minutes gone, and that early goal to Cairns still sees them retain a 1-0 lead over Redlands. Into stoppage time here. More live streaming on Monday night from the NPL women's competition. Darren Lutton will be with you for that one on Monday night from Briggs Road when Western Pride host the Gap. Monday night football on the Football Queensland live stream. And we're going to see a rarity, a heap of Tuesday night football with all these matches that have been washed out. No doubt some of those rescheduled to the Tuesday night. But meanwhile, it's half time in this round 4 NPL Queensland fixture. The only one taking place in the southeast tonight. And all that separates these sides at the half-time break is John Philippe Lassam's goal for Olympic at half-time at Walter Park. It's Moreton Bay Jets 0, Olympic 1. Players retiring for a bit of a break. We're going to take a break as well. We'll catch you back in around about 15 minutes or so at half-time. The visitors lead Moreton Bay by 1-0.
Swear a lot at Total Tools. We swear by our range. We swear by our service. And of course, we swear by our prices. So you'll know that you're buying at the best price every day. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
I could watch them all day. Even though here, you don't feel like you need to. These are the moments I'll remember. You see, to me, it's not so much just having us all together, but finding a place that really brings us together. That's what makes Oaks Oasis special. When you only get a few chances, it's important to make them count. After all, memories don't make themselves.
Today. Audi Mini Rouge, Mini Star. Oh, Mini Star. Ah! Audi Dream Team.
Reckon your kid could do better than Archie? We're looking for 4 mini stars to join the Aldi Mini Rouge Dream Team. If your kid's between 4 and 11, loves football, get them to make a video.
2 minutes max.
Showing us why they've got what it takes. If they're picked, they'll be part of the Aldi Mini Rouge Dream Team and the face of Aldi's wheat biscuits.
I thought I was meant to be on the box.
swear a lot at Total Tools. We swear by our range. We swear by our service. And of course, we swear by our prices. So you'll know that you're buying at the best price every day. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
I could watch them all day. Even though here, you don't feel like you need to. These are the moments I'll remember. You see, to me, it's not so much just having us all together, but finding a place that really brings us together. That's what makes Oaks Oasis special. When you only get a few chances, it's important to make them count. After all, memories don't make themselves.
We did great today. Audi, Eddie Mini Rouge, Mini Star. Oh, Mini Star. Ah! Audi. Dream Team.
Reckon your kid could do better than Archie? We're looking for 4 mini stars to join the Aldi Mini Rouge Dream Team. If your kid's between 4 and 11, loves football, get them to make a video.
2 minutes max.
Showing us why they've got what it takes. If they're picked, they'll be part of the Aldi Mini Rouge Dream Team and the face of Aldi's wheat biscuits.
I thought I was meant to be on the box.
jeez.
Yeah. Pretty much play any sport. Do you reckon Olympic will hang on?
Defensively, they're pretty good.
And was it the striker that for the Jets that came off?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be a big loss, won't it?
Yeah, he's tall physically as well, strong.
Yeah. His dominance over the ball is pretty good down here. And these early plays here, he's pretty strong.
This is my sixth. All right. So as you can see, the team's coming back out onto Walter Park for the second half of play. If you have just joined us, John Philippe Lazem was the goal scorer for Olympic. That's the only goal of this match so far. It's the visitors, Olympic leading Moreton Bay by 1-0. Checking on that game in progress, the only other game tonight being played in Cairns, and still that second-minute goal. In fact, the goal, Josh Taylor now has a second for Cairns, scoring in both the second and 31st minute. 5 minutes to half-time. Cairns at the moment cruising. 2-0 leaders over Redlands. So everyone looking to take their place. The Olympic defence very, very good in that first half. Certainly contained any threat that the Jets may have had. As we're about to get ready to get underway in the second period. James Sherry blows the whistle, second half underway, and Moreton Bay were looking to attack from the get-go, but Jez Loftow said no, thank you very much. Stole the ball for his side, but was cleaned up by the defence. This is Bayzad. Bernardi. Stroggets as he turned over the ball. Recovery from the Jets. Well, they're being hemmed in by Olympic. Pressure pays off. Here's Danny Byrne. Ito. Two stalwarts of Olympic. Ito on the outside of the foot for White. Saros tries to get hold of it with his feet. Janowski gets in there. Good hassle. Byrne to hassle Capello now. Gwyn Jones, it couldn't be kept in. Once again, I thought it was just going to hold up on the heavy ground. Ito. Decision will go the home side's way. Danny Byrne, none too plussed about that one. Rob with the attempted nod on. Bumped into Sunshine Coast Wanderers coach Matt Chandler at the halftime break. He too very impressed with the Olympic defence. Of course, as soon as I said that, the intended clearance goes awry. They got the free kick though as well. Also very impressed with how his side is progressing through the FQPL. Impressive result against Eastern Suburbs last week. Meanwhile, Deus goes down. No contact, says the referee. I tend to agree with his decision on that one. David Booth, the Capella Bar Bulldogs FQPL coach, also in attendance. Ben Ryan, Peninsula Power assistant coach. Everyone desperate for their football fix after their own sides' clashes were postponed, and Lofthouse wide of the target, trying to steer it into the top left corner. White back to his keeper. Lazem. Stroggets. Lofthouse. Gwyn Jones. Janowski for Arop. Comes up against Ito. Be tough to break down the Japanese player. Gwyn Jones. Dickinson. Capello calling for it at his feet. That's exactly where it came. Bernardi. Stroggets. Oh, geez, that was an easy turnover. Sanders. Burn. Oh, and forced Bazak because he was just at the edge of the box to play it with his feet rather than the hands. Here's Arop. Arop into the box, plays it square. Good save from Mooney from Fox's shot. Ball ends up in the back of the net anyway for the Jets, courtesy of Sam Dickinson. And the Jets have found the equaliser after coming under pressure at the other end. Byrne forced Bazad to kick the ball out rather than play it with his feet. He went the length of the park. Stroggets down the right, put the cross in. Fox couldn't get to it first time. Dickinson could. 1-1, game on. So that's going to add a little spice now into the encounter. Olympic searching for an immediate reply. This is Byrne. Over the head from Janowski. Dickinson back for the keeper. Boomed long. Won by the Jets. Might just have a little bit of extra momentum just at the moment after scoring that goal. Stroggets. Campbell it was who loses out. Lofthouse. Glover in search of Lofthouse. Bazad. High, long for Arup, waiting on the halfway line. Ito gets in there first in front of the lanky Arup. Wants to retreat to the keeper once more. Gwyn Jones. Janowski, hassled by Lofthouse. Enough for Olympic to have the ball back from a throw-in. Ito. Byrne. Delivers towards the far post. Deus challenging Bernardi. Gwyn Jones. Not going to trouble the defence. Waters. Miscue, uncharacteristic of the tall defender for Olympic. Matt Mundy on the sideline, the sub just receiving some attention on his hamstrings. Maybe with the intention of being introduced into the game in the very near future. Saros. Stroggets. Very impressive during the Jets FFA campaign, FFA Cup campaign last year. Glover breaks free of two. Referee in a collision with Stroggets. It's fortuitous for Olympic. Square ball from Byrne into the 6-yard box. Ito. And I think Byrne let the ball go because he thought he was in an offside position. Here's Bazad. Lassam. Deus. Saros. Saros! Skimmer along the ground! And not too far away for Costa Saros. And looks like there's been a change in formation at the half-time break. Kieran Sanders was playing more in the number 9 in the first half. He's dropped back behind the front three. Saros, it looks as though, who's the striker up front in the middle for this second half. Bazad. Byrne aims to give him no time. Gets it away just in the nick of time, the keeper. Dickinson. Fox trying to outrun Ito. Mooney, Arup also in there. And Mooney scrambles away in desperation. Gwyn Jones. Skipper Janowski. Dickinson. Capello. Gwyn Jones. Olympic doing a really good job of not allowing the Jets out of their defensive territory. Waters. Byrne. Looping through was Lofthouse. Pass directed towards Saros. Couldn't connect. Could Byrne, the skipper. Won by White. Links in with Waters. Wide again. Not being able to hear Pirianabi in the background. Here's Lazem. He scored one already for his side. Matt Mundy just running out his hamstring behind the goal to our left, just doing a number of short sprints. I think they're about to make that change, Olympic. Will be Matt Mundy to come on. Have to wait for another break in play though. Olympic player upended, looking to take the free kick quickly. The Jets won't let them. Waters. Ferrito. Oh, straight into the danger. Harrop waiting, and they've turned it over. Here's Fox. Tries to jink around Waters. And Waters forced to get in there and played out for a corner. Ben Khan, the Olympic coach, unhappy with the normally consistent Kazuya Ito on that occasion.
Do this one, Philly.
Here comes the corner in from this near side. Evades everyone. Janowski lofts one into the 6-yard box. Mooney able to get to it first. Was it Bernardi there lurking in? It was Gwyn Jones actually. Oh, he's been caught. Has White, and Arop collects a yellow card. Plenty of talk going on. This match poised on a knife edge. Now the change will be the goal scorer, John Philippe Lazem, to make his departure, and will be replaced by Matt Mundy. Where is John Philippe Lazem? Here he comes. Ever so slowly and surely to the sideline. James Sherry completing his paperwork for the yellow card. Final instructions being dished out to Matt Mundy. Lazem gets a congratulatory low five from his captain. His shift is done. Just limping a little bit awkwardly as he makes his way off the park, John Philippe Lazem. So play restarts with Mooney and the free kick. Sanders. Good run from Deis. He's got plenty of pace. Deis onto his left foot. Couldn't connect with Saros. Fox. Arab even too far for the speedy Arab. Saros running onto it. Mazard out of his area to clear. A little bit cagey through this period after the equaliser. Obviously neither side willing to concede another. Gwyn Jones. Arab. It's the left of Vito. Janowski out to try to make amends for his mistake. Meanwhile, Dias comes away with it. Searching for Sanders, I should say. Mooney. I think that was Bayzad. Arup.
Get him!
Gwyn Jones. High. Chested down, almost into the path of Fox. Dickinson regains his feet. Fox to the byline. Delivers the cross in. Hacked away by the defender. It's going a million miles an hour. The tempo of this game at the moment. Danny Byrne told not to take it from that spot. Bit of by-play between the Moreton Bay coaching team and Danny Byrne. One of them saying, you took it near down near the corner flag, Danny. Sanders loses out to Dickinson and Stroggets. Mooney calls his defenders off. Substitute Mundy. Glover. Too far for Dias. Once again, Bayzad getting involved. Elects to put it across the sideline this time round. Half time in Cairns, and the hosts lead Redlands by 2-0. You might have just joined us earlier on from the A-League game that was in progress between the Roar and Newcastle. It was a former Jets player that came up with the goods for the visitors. Joey Champness scoring for Newcastle in their defeat of Brisbane Roar. Certainly doing very good things down at his new Jets after coming from the Moreton Bay United Jets. A NAB Young Player of the Month nominee earlier in the A-League season. Mundy, former A-League player himself. Waters goes on a bit of a run. Saros was caught flat-footed. Stroggets for Arup. 3 Olympic players immediately circling he. Byrne. Too high for Lofthouse. Here's the skipper again. Good ball through for Saros. Saros makes his way into the box. Slides past Lofthouse, but no matter, because Shelford Dias has put Olympic here again ahead. Delightful ball. Slid across Lofthouse, but wider out was Shelford Dias. He scores the second goal of the evening for the visitors, who go ahead again. Olympic lead the Moreton Bay Jets by 2-1. Second goal of the season for Shelford Dias after scoring in the opening match day win against Magpies Crusaders. Momentum in the early part of this second half was well and truly the Jets' way, but it's swung again to Olympic after they had the momentum through much of the first half. Bazad, wrong foot, Saros. Janowski, Capello, Fox, brought down by Waters, and he'll go into James Sherry's notebook. It's our fourth yellow card of the evening. I think the referee wants to retake this one, taken from the wrong spot, or he wasn't ready. So take two at the free kick. Gwyn Jones. Janowski. They're right back again. And Familia from Moreton Bay having to retreat all the way back to the keeper after the press comes in from Olympic. Stroggets. So rain begins to fall at Walter Park. Supporters reaching for the brollies. Coaching staff tipping back the seats and taking their positions under cover. Just a light shower. Referee calls on Mooney to play the goal kick. Plays of handball fall on deaf ears. Nodded away by Ito. Janowski. Fox. Threaded through for Campbell, who comes one-on-one with the keeper. He had to make a brave save. Nick Mooney made some brilliant saves in Olympics victory against Lions last weekend. And Saros falls foul of the assistant. Gwyn Jones gets it back though. Arup. Fox making the run ahead of him. Too far for his teammate. Mooney and White in no rush. Fox will eventually force the keeper to clear. Capello. Arup. Capello again. Switch for Bernardi. Campbell. Both sides really need to hold possession for longer periods. There's an Olympic player who's gone down on the far side, claiming he copped a knock from Riley Campbell. I think that'll be Glover on the far side, who regains his feet.
Kazoo! Switch with Jack Glover.
So
Do it now.
Ben Khan issuing the instructions, asking Ito and Glover to swap positions. Glover's taking the throw in though, so
Jack, this side.
can't happen just at the moment. He's going to let the throw in go, and the home supporters not happy about that.
Play Kazoo, come on.
Stroggets. Arup's got a bit of room free. Stroggets goes himself with a bolter from downtown. Had a bit of venom on it. Mooney couldn't get to it first time round, had to parry it down. There's no pressure for him to get it the second bite of the cherry though. As Mitchell slides in to win the ball. Glover, as I mentioned earlier, switch sides in defence. Lofthouse back for Waters. Burn. Too high for Fox, and White leaves it for Waters. Good to know that you're all watching again out there this evening. Good to see you watching on Tim Lawson from the Sunshine Coast. Sanders for Lofthouse. My old sparring partner Phil Davis also with his mate Carl Probst watching on. No doubt down the layer at Woodridge. Enervy, I think I've got that right. Hopefully I have, from Switzerland, barracking on for the Jets. It's great that our little game here in this state goes global. And we're watching on from all corners of the world, no doubt. A few supporting mates that are now residents here in Australia from overseas. Here's Saros, though, in for Lofthouse. Looking for a goal in his 4th consecutive game. If he can score here tonight, Lofthouse. Ben Khan from Olympic readies another substitution. Backheel, miscommunication between Capello and his teammate, Fox, I think it was. Flags up for offside. That'll allow Olympic to make the change, though. Coming on in jersey number 20, although play has restarted quickly, so Olympic unable to make the change in that break. Arup. Janowski. Not too far away at all, just wide of that left post. It'll be a double change for Olympic. So Zafi Nazari in jersey 20 will be coming on. So too will Adam Edgar in 18. There's an Olympic player down in the background. The physio is attending to. Let's see what the changes being made are. Is it Danny Byrne coming off? Yeah, Danny Byrne, one of the players coming off, the skipper. So that's one change. There's 2 players that have gone on, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I assume, yeah, one player's gone on prematurely here. I assume he's going on for the player that's down in the background. Is that Saros down the background, just trying to spot? Yeah, it is. So it'll be Costa Saros making his way off, just limping off with that right leg. Shelford Deus in front of us is just an absolute ball of sweat. The jersey and shorts are absolutely soaking. Just evident of how much humidity is out there tonight. So we see Saros limping to the sideline. As I said earlier, 18, Adam Edgar will be the replacement. Jets set to make a substitution of their own. So the bench is emptied. The change is being made for Moreton Bay as well. And departing the field will be Lockie Stroggets, to be replaced by number 16, Omar Siddiqui. It's the second change of the night by the Jets. As I said before, Ben Kahn exhausted his bench options. This is his lineup to the death now. So after all that, Nick Mooney restarts us. Deus, great ball through for the substitute. Edgar comes up one-on-one with the keeper. Keeper's down. Now the other substitute tries to steer it into the far post. In Nazari. And the Moreton Bay coaching staff are furious after Bayzad remains down. No free kick. And it almost resulted in a free hit for Olympic. So the keeper's down. Tension's boiling over. And it was almost the third goal there for Olympic. Nazari with the first chance. And then Sadiqi's shot steering wide of the target. Things have just calmed down a little. Rubbish decision, says Perianabi. The physio hasn't left the field of play, so the Jets in their anxiousness to try and get the game away quickly. Forced to restart for a second time. Bayzad back to his feet, looking okay. Janowski nods back for Capello. Bernardi runs out of room after being hassled by Lofthouse. Jez Lofthouse was a premature departure from the field last week. Copped a bit of a knock for Olympic, but thought it might have been in some doubt tonight, but will play out the full 90. Sanders forward in the direction of Lofthouse. Looking for a free kick where the Jets advantage played. They make a raid down the left-hand side. Played back for Siddiqui. Every decision being ridden at the moment. The Jets faithful on the far side really starting to get more and more into this game as it progresses. Bayzad. Good win because the free man for Olympic would have been Nazari. Gwyn Jones. Arab. Olympic with the slender. 1 goal lead, and this game is kicked up another level. Bernardi. Are we going to see another fast and furious finish involving the Jets once more after that period last week where 3 goals were scored in additional time in the game against the Strikers, as well as the send-off of Matt Byrne? Could be the fast and furious tonight again here for the Jets. Gwyn Jones. Arup. 2 Olympic defenders there. Ball cut out. Deus has come deep into defence to help out.
Don't go in close by yourself. Stay close to Shell, second ball.
Sanders against Dickinson. Here's Quinn Jones.
This one, Ads. Come on, Ads. Here. Not too late now. Too late.
Oh, who's got in the 8?
Doesn't matter. He's not going to fucking throw it.
Jets searching for the equaliser. Let's check back in Cairns and see if there's any progression on the score. It's now completed. It's still 2-0 Cairns way over Redlands. Around about 6 minutes plus stoppage time here for either Olympic to clinch the 3 points or for Moreton Bay to take something out of this game. Harrop up against Glover. Mundy. Quick touch on by Edgar for Sanders. Sanders tries to lob the keeper. And was starting to dip at the right time, but not in time. Good thinking from Kieran Sanders to spot the keeper off his line and try and lob him. Janowski. Got to say, despite all the wet, the ground has really held up extremely well. Fox. Credit to whoever's maintaining the field. It hasn't chopped up at all. The ball has run pretty truly all night. Much better than those who will remember the 2015 NPL Grand Final here. Become one of the better playing surfaces in Brisbane, has Walter Park since that moment. Is he off? No, says the assistant Edgar. Tries to tap it past the keeper. Deus, can he add to his tally? Deus on for Edgar. He tries to buy himself some room. The Jets scramble. Lofthouse. Nazari. They've shut Olympic down. Sanders looked to chance his hand from downtown. Ito earns the ball back for his side. They're not out of danger just at the moment, the Jets. Sanders. Was there a free kick? He's got the ball over him, and the referee does find a free kick. There's a bit of push and shove, not too much in it. Tempest fraying. Now there's not too much really in it. There's a bit of push and shove. Players now starting to separate to their corners. How will James Sherry deal with this, if anything? Making a change are Moreton Bay. So James Sherry sent the Olympic players down to his right. He sent the Moreton Bay players to his left. Will there be any further sanction as a result of that push and shove? I can tell you it'll be Riley Campbell who will be coming off for Moreton Bay to be replaced by 22, Corey Salvati, when that change is eventually made. Now James Sherry to consult with both of his assistants here. Although Carmelo Pulverenti just keeping the peace, more or less. Justin Temple having a chat. coming from the far side. I don't think there was too much in it. There might be a player brought out for a chat or a yellow card. There is a yellow card. Looks to be Kieran Sanders. Kieran Sanders is the Olympic player. He's copped one. And the Moreton Bay player, just can't spot. Is it Alex Janowski? I think it is. Meanwhile, we're waiting for that Jets change to be made. Will be made now, or we're going to wait for the resulting free kick to be taken. So Sanders to take it. The ball's advanced a couple of metres. The 4 in the wall will be asked to retire the 10 yards. Mundy just asking his coach for the instructions. Tall timber in the wall, waiting for the referee's whistle. Here's Sanders with a free kick. Aimed towards the top left corner. And that change will be made for Moreton Bay. Riley Campbell to be replaced by jersey 22, Corey Salvati. Campbell takes his leave on the far side of the park. So that forces Arup on to the left side. Salvati will come on to the right, up front. The goal kick to get us back underway again. Fox trying to play it on for his own advantage. Salvati first touch of the ball. Almost played provider for Arup. Capello. Bernardi. Too high on that side of the park for Brenton Fox. So we're approaching stoppage time. A couple of long breaks, so we might get at least 4 minutes of it. Let's tidy up the score in Cairns for the final time. Midway through the second half, it's still Cairns leading Redlands by 2-0. Salvati, the substitute.
Excellent, well done.
Olympic in no rush to get us back underway. Tried his best, Capello. Throw in comes long. Salvati. Earns his side the free kick. Jets will be looking to play this quickly. Capello. On to Mitchell. Bazard. Quinn Jones. Fox plays of handball and given. Fox was looking for the ball lower. That's the feedback for Quinn Jones. I think I'm hearing there's 5 minutes of stoppage time. Janowski up against Deus. Olympic come away with the ball. Sanders poked on in Bazard's hands. Initially looked to go long. Instead comes short to Bernardi. Up against Lofthouse. Dances around him. Ito. Now Mundy. Desperation here for the Jets to try and get a point out of this game. Square. And there's a free kick. Perhaps he could have played advantage there, Sherry, because Gwyn Jones was in plenty of space on this right-hand side. The Jet supporters barking. Free kick will be left for Bazard to take. The Jets all moving forward.
Jizzy, second ball, Jizzy, stay alive.
Urgency coming in from both benches. Contest. Sanders nods away. They're short at the back, Olympic. Ball just rolls for Edgar. Now the Jets coming back, scrambling back in defence. Plays of handball, not given. Away by the Jets. Chested down. Once again, a ball boom long. The player is offside in Edgar.
Hurry up! Take off! Jacob! Hurry up!
Purianabi saying hurry up, the Moreton Bay coach. Route 1 for the Jets. Too far for anyone, I'd suggest. Gwyn Jones has got up front, the tall timber.
Get out!
Mooney, high, long. Nodded down. Mundy now gets involved. Is he going for the corner? Slides one through for Deus. Into the feet of Bazard, who retreats back onto his line. Sanders. Getting there first was the Olympic player who's brought Arup down. It was Nazari. So once again, Bazard to take the free kick. Those yellow shirts streaming forward. Bazard into the opposition box. Lofthouse on the break. Edgar was offside. Now Bazard again. That is full time. Well, a flurry of activity in the end to this one. And there are idiots on the pitch. So at full time in this game, it is Olympic who have defeated Moreton Bay by 2-1. Goal in the first half for Olympic came the way of John Philippe Lazem. Shortly after the break, Moreton Bay equalised through Sam Dickinson, but in the end it was Shelford Deus who has scored the winner. There's tempers being frayed. I'm just being distracted by some discussions happening. There's a discussion. Oh, we don't need to see this. The two coaches getting involved. Look, we may end the broadcast here. Thanks very much for joining in. It's Olympic 2 have defeated Moreton Bay 1 in this round 4 NPL Queensland match.